stuff up there. Look at these double glasses. So these aren't turned on yet. I just want to get, first thing we're going to do is do a tour anyways. Like, we're just going to walk around. But I just want to kind of talk about what we're doing.
Yeah, I keep getting the slow connection.
11:07. Me too. We're just going to have to deal with it.
Is what it is today.
We got nobody on Zoom.
Nobody on Zoom.
Nobody on Zoom. Okay, this is what we're doing here today, guys. This is my first live fundraiser ever. I tricked ya. We're doing goal planning. No, we really are going to do goal planning, but part of my goal planning is I realized that I might be 3.5 years into a 5-year plan that I started 7 months ago. So I really just need you guys to like track with me for a little bit. This is going to be real Charlie Day, always sunny, flipping out over stuff, but I collect data. I was in marketing, data analytics, design, all of that for 20 years before I did this, and I have ADHD, so I have extreme pattern recognition, and my circumstances in life sometimes put a veil up to make it so that these patterns don't connect, but now everything makes sense because I made a list, just like we've always done. My whole entire career of everything that I've ever wanted to do, I've made a list. And once we have everything on that list,
start checking it off.
Things, so we just check it off.
All the satisfaction of checking.
So I did make a list this year. So I began my relationship. First of all, we're here at MakerWorks here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. This classroom right here is the classroom that sort of kicked off my classes. Now I have been teaching since my very first year in my brick and mortar, which was my very second year ever doing upholstery, and I did not know what I was doing. I started teaching out of necessity to keep the roof over our head. It wasn't enough. We kept trying to do as many jobs as we could. The fact is we had a lot of business, but we didn't have enough hands to do all the jobs that we were signing up to do. We had the skill right off the bat. My husband's a metal fabricator, a wood fabricator, and we're very creative, and we've always made stuff, so we were just like to the moon. My first chair I sold for $425 in 4 minutes before Facebook Marketplace was even a thing. So I understand now the order of like this kind of business growth. I didn't lose my business. I closed my business 3 years ago after 6 years of working, forcing my foot through the door in the upholstery industry, and just doing whatever the hell I wanted and connecting with the people I thought were cool and making the cool things without thinking about the safety net that I needed underneath me. Everybody was elevating my status. I was elevating myself. There was nothing I couldn't accomplish. Google me. It's just, I did a lot of stuff, and it all came unraveled at the same time. And it was extremely traumatic for me. It's taken a long time to get back. I wanted to start small, but I sort of kind of been pushed into a position where I have to expedite the delivery of like the next steps of what I want to do, and I wasn't sure how I was going to go about doing it. I made a GoFundMe because I'm like, maybe my friends will give me enough money for a deposit, and that that's been a slow growing thing. We've got over $3,000 and it's amazing. I want to see that grow, but after the GoFundMe kicked off, what happened after that was like more valuable than the money itself, is I had options. People reached out to me and they're like, hey, I have this, and hey, I have this, and hey, I can do this for you. How can I help? And I was just like, oh my God, like what is happening right now? And so before it was like, yeah. First of all, we're in MakerWorks. This is where I started teaching my classes. This is a small space, the only open classroom space in MakerWorks. I've been teaching my classes out of here for 2 years. Every weekend that I could cram in for 2 years, I have been hogging up all this space. And at the same time, I've been helping MakerWorks with their marketing, because after COVID, they had a hard time coming back. And because I have 20 years of marketing skills, I had that skill to trade in exchange for a skill that they needed to grow. And so we had a partnership, and they allowed me to work out of this space in exchange for marketing services. And through that, we fought through a lot of, is this even working? To even know if it's working. None of the data points are connected to each other. The technological systems, operational systems have not all been linked in place. I know this because this is what I did for 20 years. That was like what my job was to create like brand portfolios and to create consistency across all platforms. There was a lot less platforms then than there are now, but that was like what it is I did. And so that's what I've been trying to help MakerWorks with. In the first 8 weeks, we were able to raise over $59,000, and we started adding more classes to the schedule. Membership went up, classes went up, the amount of feet, everything that was coming through here went up, and now when they do fundraisers, they are able to raise enough money to make it to the next year. But they're only making it to the next year. They're not yet thriving, and I just find that like absolutely insane because of what just happened to me.
Right.
Just in 2 years of working out of MakerWorks in the way that I have. And it's not expensive. I don't know what other makerspaces charge, but this makerspace is not an expensive makerspace to work out of.
No.
Top tier membership. I haven't looked at the website in a while because I've been here for 2 years. I don't know if they've changed prices. I did not fact check this before we got on. But the all access pass, which there's a lot that goes into being able to have an all access pass, you can't just like pay for it, is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, $210 a month. That's my like physical overhead.
Yeah, that's
11,000 square feet, a CNC in every room of the shop, textiles, woodworking, metalworking, classroom space. Anyone can use this classroom. Anyone.
Yeah.
There are over 1,000 maker spaces in the United States that are going under because nobody's utilizing these resources.
right.
But I've always thought it was because no one knew what to do with them. Maybe you don't know you have a MakerWorks or a makerspace in your area. MakerWorks isn't a franchise, it's an idea. It's a makerspace, and they exist everywhere. Sometimes they're hacker spaces, sometimes they're themed, just woodworking or just metalworking, or there's spaces in your community that have resources that can help you grow your business. This is a resource that helped me grow my business in manufacturing. I'm sure that there are similar things out there to this that have to do with whatever it is that you're looking for, but this was the thing for me. What I needed was, so after we had to close our business, we had a 3-year lease. We were 1 year into our 3-year lease, and we were desperately trying to flip our product like model, our business model, to selling products and teaching classes. No clients, because Jesus Christ, it is the hardest thing in the world to do. So we really tried. Classes started to pick up, but it just wasn't fast enough, and we couldn't keep up. We had to rip off the Band-Aid, pull the plug, get rid of everything. We ended up selling, we filed bankruptcy, we sold our home, we moved into, sorry, Jesus Christ. This all happened in 3 years.
There's still some.
We're going over the things that happened in 3 years.
That's right.
And we had to move into another rental, 800 square foot home, a family of 5, all adult size. And when I say adult size, my 3 daughters are taller than I am.
Right.
My 12-year-old, 16-year-old, 20-year-old are all taller than I am. 2 dogs and 2 cats in a 900 square foot home. I left that shop with Carhartt still on the table. We were still finishing the Carhartt job. And when I show you me doing this Carhartt job in my living room where I can't even walk around the
piece.
wood,
Yeah.
because I'm just everything is in one space, but we had to finish the job. It was the last one. There are many jobs we had to give money back. Some, like, we had to finish, some that went to court. It was the hardest fucking, like, saying it out loud. I've been just like, don't talk about it, don't talk about it. It makes it real. It was very real. And I would be irresponsible to get on here and tell you guys all, oh, go start an upholstery business. You can
That's
make
right.
money. You can make so much money doing this. But if I send you out there into the ether to just start, like, tossing furniture out your door making money, it's irresponsible of me to guide you in that direction without telling you that there are consequences and there is infrastructure that needs to be in place. And we are now looking into 5 years into the future, 3 months into the future, potentially being in another brick and mortar. And I don't think I have my bearings secured to do that. So I'm gonna walk all of us through that process, because if I'm learning it at the same time, and it's gonna be different in your city, it's gonna be different in your community, but if I'm learning it at the same time as you, and you're watching me anyways, like, that's passive learning.
Well, yeah,
So-
and then the principles are there.
Right.
You just have to figure out how to apply them
Yes.
to your personal situation.
And I will say, like, upholstery, manufacturing, fabrication, all of that stuff has its own rules and regulations in different spaces. I know what we were able to do because our city originally worked with us with, like, the definitions of things and what we were allowed to do. I'm sure we could have dug deeper into that, but, like, at the time, everyone's like, yeah, you want to start a business? Start a business. And we're like, hell yeah. And we did it for 6 years, and it nearly killed us. We were drowning. We started with no money, but we stretched it out for 6 years. I've been in magazines, I've been on television, I've done all of these things that were my resume that I worked so hard for, only for it to fall apart. Sorry. It didn't fall apart.
It didn't. It just stopped for a little bit.
Didn't stop. It never stopped is the problem. Like, that's the thing, is like, this whole entire time I'm just like, how can I prove? How can I show? What can I do? And just, like, fighting with myself, like, in emails, and, like, trying to make connections with people who I think that, like, have a vested interest in, like, pushing this idea forward. And I was doing it. Okay.
It
Meta
wants
wants
you.
me to switch.
It does want you to switch.
So I'm gonna do that, so you can see Lisa's face while I do this. Is that working?
There I am. I can see me.
Okay. What was I saying? You guys know I forget what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
every single
you were. Also, I do not remember things.
time. Turn the.
Do you want me to switch it?
No, I don't think there's any. Come on in. Come on in.
Oh, you know
Oh.
what? It just was like.
Oh.
So I think the slow connection
Yeah.
is.
Just turn it off.
Oh, it says switch back. Turn off
Switch
the
back.
phone.
To everybody who's just joining us, my name is Kim. I'm with Loco. I teach upholstery and furniture restoration. I'm with. Is this still on here? Or switch back to the
It
phone
says
card?
switch back to phone camera. It wants
Okay.
you to do.
Do that. So just turn that off.
Just stick
And I'm
with
just gonna take that off.
Take these off. now.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll turn this around,
Flip it.
and I'll just hold this for a minute.
You sure?
Ooh, Yeah. And look at this. Look, we're on here. Okay, what was I saying?
You're Kim. You're Loco Upholstery.
Right, my name is Kim. I'm with Loco Upholstery. Loco Design Studio is what I'm leaning towards. What do you think?
I like it. I like the
So
design work.
I've been doing upholstery for a really long time, professionally since the very first project, if you consider getting paid professional. And I also ran my own business for 6 years doing upholstery, metal fabrication, wood fabrication, working with top designers and architects and contractors in the Metro Detroit area. You can come through
Fine.
here. It's okay.
We're all good.
It's fine. You're fine.
You're not on camera.
You're not on camera. Good to see you. So, I closed my business 3 years ago with the intent to start again one day. I didn't know how I was going to do it, so I decided to make a list of the things that I needed to do. I made a list of the people I needed to connect with, and I moved forward. I didn't know where I was going with it or if it was going to happen. I was just like, I gotta fucking do this because this is what I want to do. Do you know this is the longest job I've ever had in my life?
Oh my gosh.
It's the longest job I've ever had in my life.
That's cool.
And I don't want to do anything else. I tried to go back to corporate America, and those guys are behind the times.
Not where you want to be.
They are late to adopt And it's very frustrating to work with people who are late to adopt when you can see the future of technology, which is what we're trying to apply here today. So we're here on TikTok, we're here on Facebook. And we're also, you guys, on Zoom, because we're going to be going through the timeline that I put together last year as my 5-year plan. And I just eyeballed it for a second, but I believe I'm 3.5 years into this 5-year plan, and I just started working on it a year ago. So, and that reminds me, I had a long line of people who have been taking classes with me who didn't write a 5-year plan, but these things started to appear in front of their eyes after I was just like, put my list of shit together.
Yeah.
And then
It just kind of happened.
you put your list of stuff together.
I put my list together. I need to evaluate my list.
So I need to find something to prop this Facebook phone on, because this is not going to work out for me.
Okay.
Let me...
Can we put it over here?
Yeah, maybe we can actually, just like the Zoom call, it
Yeah.
can just be...
Just have it back behind there.
Oh, no, that's not
No, here, wait.
We're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. So if you are joining us and you would like to be a part of the discussion and talk about your goals, and or if you have questions for me about like how I started a business and why the hell I feel like it's a good idea to try and fucking do this again because it almost killed me the first time, I would be happy to venture a guess. So maybe coffee.
Yeah.
See what coffee saves the day.
Coffee.
I knew I got that for a reason. And I barely drank any of it. So thank you everyone for joining. I am entertaining taking live guests as well, but I would love to see you guys like here. I'm over here on Instagram, I'm here on Zoom, but if you want to participate in the conversation, I'd like to get you over over here on Zoom. Amy Velikit says, I love your energy, friend.
Hey,
Did
Amy.
you know that Amy Velikit was my assistant when I had my shop?
Yeah.
My first video to go viral was her stripping the little green chair. Story about the little green chair.
Good thing about finishing that whole sentence.
Thanks.
You know what? What if we do this? And make all of our views in the same
Oh,
place.
yeah, we can do that for
How
now.
about we do that?
That's a good idea. That is a great angle.
Then we're
working with
not
it.
like turning around 6 different directions.
Right, so we got a few viewers here on Instagram and we have a few viewers here. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, I can't do this, the plan, you guys, was for me to do the whiteboard on the Zoom so that I could show you, but I can't do this like this, so I'm probably going to have to use the whiteboard. So why don't you rearrange the camera
All right.
I get the whiteboard.
One moment, please.
And then you have your phone?
I do have my phone.
Because, look at this, first of all, this is so cute. Robotics team
Oh.
and my
And
class.
upholstery, all in the same place.
That's very cute. So we do a lot of classes here at MakerWorks. I
Sorry,
teach my classes
Facebook.
out of here, but anyone can rent this space to teach their classes out of anytime they want. I have been competing with the robotics team for this space for Sundays for 2 years. And I'm sorry you guys, I didn't mean to take up all that space, but thank you for being so gracious because a lot of good stuff came out of it. So because of the growth of MakerWorks, it has limited my ability to be able to grow out of this classroom space because now they're doing more classes. They need their only giant classroom space to be able to teach their classes. So I needed to find a solution to teach mine. I only teach my classes 2 days a week. In that 2 days a week, I cover my overhead, which with all my ads and everything else, my storage unit and everything, is just around $2,500 a month. The space that I'm looking at downtown is $2,000 a month. I'm making enough money with what I'm doing to cover that, but I'm not making enough money to provide an infrastructure or a safety net. I don't have any savings. I don't even work paycheck to paycheck. I don't get a paycheck. I will get any extra money that comes through, but this entire 2 years I have been, I lost teeth, I lost insurance on my car, we lost our home, we lost all this stuff. I have no extra money to spend on this. So the vehicle of this whole entire loco thing has just been to show you guys how to do this so that you can help me get it back. And now we're there. Now we have people who come from all over the United States to come to this tiny little classroom at MakerWorks. And then they get to see how incredible this space is for maybe some ideas that they have. So I want to show you first, we're going to go into the timeline that I created when I sat down with Tom Root, the founder of MakerWorks and the CEO of Zingerman's Mail Order, what my plan was when we partnered together. I'm just going through with the local plan of it because I had an idea of like, if we start here, here's where I think we'll be in 5 years. And when we had that discussion, we started at 5 years and we worked our way back. Reverse engineering, just like upholstery, just like we taught ourselves how to do upholstery. We take it apart, we take pictures as we go, we remember where everything went, and then we try and put it back together the best we can. So that's like dissecting your 5-year plan. So that's what I did with Tom Root. And I have been frustrated and angry through this whole process, and I have no idea why. Because when I went back to look at the data at the end of the year, I was shocked and embarrassed almost, kinda, for my behavior over the past 2 years because I've just been so frustrated and stressed that things weren't moving fast enough and it wasn't happening fast enough. Because on that end, the reason why it feels like it's not happening fast enough for me is because I wake up every day in survival mode. I wake up every day wondering if financially I'm going to make it through to the next day, if I'm ever going to catch up on the mountain of debt that happened when I closed my business. And up until after we put the fundraiser out there and we got the response that we did, not the donation response, but the actual like community response that we did, I was just like, oh, we are doing it. Oh, we're actually doing it. And then I look back at my timeline and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So that's what I want to Charlie Day on you guys here for a minute, and I just want to show you what I came up with. And after we do that, I'm going to take you for a walk around MakerWorks so you can see the facility. If you're local in Michigan and you've never been here before, this place is open to everybody. It is kind of like having a gym membership, but for tools. So you can come here and you can pay a membership, or you can pay a day pass, or you can buy credits, or you can come with a friend sometimes for free and take a class, learn how to use a tool, come back and use it whenever you want. It's a really cool space, and it was the #1 reason I was able to grow, and I barely even touched the tools outside of this classroom. I got to use the CNC twice. I made a Barbie box, and I pulled a table out of the trash and did this like beautiful cicada carving in it, and we auctioned that off for MakerWorks last year, and I've been really meaning to get back to it, and I have a pile of tabletops like and designs already done, like waiting to do it. I just need a frickin' shop so that I can like have time to do this. And all this time that I've been building Loco, and all this time that I've been building Loco out of MakerWorks, I felt like I wasn't taking enough time to build my business. I felt like I wasn't taking enough time to put it in there because my time was split between MakerWorks, Loco, my marketing clients, Creative Washina, Ask Kevin, Schedule Stitch. Like these are all, like I do marketing consulting on the side, and so I have like 5 full-time jobs, and it's felt kind of depressing to have that many jobs, but somehow I was able to cram all of this crap into the past like 2 years, and I have no idea how I made it through that. So I want to show you what that looks like. And Lisa just took off on me. She's the one reading the stuff off. So if you guys want to be a part of this discussion and you want to start help planning, we are here on Instagram, TikTok. Actually, I think we're just on Facebook, TikTok, and Zoom now. Zoom is where you're going to want to go if you want to ask questions and talk about your goals and your dreams, and and any questions you have for me about my business and everything that I did, please join. But this is a shameless plug for a fundraiser. We are not disguising that in any way. That's what we're working on.
I brought the tools.
Ready for Charlie Day. Okay, so open up your Instagram, our group chat.
Okay.
I have about 7 students right now who have graduated. We never had a program, but I know they're ready.
I want a diploma.
We will have a program. Here's the things. I don't want a diploma, I don't want a program, and I don't want to take this shit seriously at all, so we're going to have patches, like Girl Scouts. Spring tying, Look at this face. She's so excited.
I love a badger sticker.
So we're gonna gamify this process because
That's the best.
because you guys, you know, you want to earn things. Like that's how human beings work. Cat in the box situation, all that stuff.
Okay.
Philosophy.
Team, what do you want to do now?
Okay. What are we doing in the team?
I don't know. You told me to come to the Instagram group chat.
You guys have to remember what I say in succession. Remembering. Oh no.
You just said open your phone.
Open the image that I sent of the timeline.
Oh.
So you guys, I do have ADHD and my brain is.
I'm going to tell you this. I tried to read it. I could not read it.
It wouldn't
when I
open that
put
big.
it didn't open big enough. It blurs once you get there.
Oh man.
You know.
Well, I think I can read it.
Can
Hold on.
you know what it says?
I do know what it says. Okay, so June 2023. This is where we're at, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm definitely going to have to look that up. June 2023 is when I started this 5-year timeline. Make sure all these cameras.
I am trying to check
Everything
and see
is.
where we are.
Hold on. This one.
Can
is
that zoom
on.
out?
Recording in progress.
The way it zooms out is you move it away.
Oh, it's a human zoom. Got you.
It's on the dolly.
We call it
It's a
human
little
zoom in our house.
Okay, so June 2023 is when we started. We sat down to say, what's the 5-year plan? So we're gonna go from year 1 on up, but when we go to build our 5-year plan, hopefully we can get that in before 2 o'clock. I'm sure we will, it's not even noon yet. We're gonna start from the top and we're gonna work our way down. And I want your top to be 400 times bigger than you thought it was gonna be because holy shit, you guys. Jesus. Okay, so year 1, we said this is what we were gonna have in place for year 1. Teach classes. Year 1, teach. We need a green check marker.
It was a struggle to come
I'm
up
just
with
gonna make
a
a
black.
check. I'm just gonna make a check. The plan, you guys, for the visual stimulation aspect of this was to do this on the whiteboard on Zoom so that I could put green and red and all of that stuff, but you guys are really not helping out here. There is a link to the Zoom. It's on the Facebook page, it's on the Instagram page, even though you have to figure out how to select and copy and paste that. Hello,
Mrs.
Mr.
Reisner.
Welcome.
I knew how to say
You're
it. I
here.
fixed that last time we were here.
Thank you. Okay, so teach classes. We did that in year 1. What else we got? Retreats and training events. I
Nice.
say we did that.
I think that that's a big old check.
Check. Third thing, social media tutorials. Check.
Check.
Tutorial Tuesdays, you guys. You're here.
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
here.
We're doing
That
it.
would be, you are the epitome of that check mark.
Now remember, when I'm making this list with Tom Root, I'm like, I'm a mess, Tom. Help me out. I have no idea how to even wrap my head around doing this again. Help me out. And Tom's feeding me all this information. I'm like, no, you're wrong. This is our whole conversation. So I might have oppositional defiance disorder, I think. So now we're moving into year 2. Year 1, check.
Check.
Everything across the board.
Done.
Year 1, it's not even been a year. June will be.
June.
Well, actually,
will be 2 years.
maybe
It's
this
been a
year.
year and a half.
No. This was.
This is June of 23.
So actually, okay. So important, worth noting that this actually didn't start at the beginning of our relationship. This started after the first year. So after the first year of working with MakerWorks, maybe 6-9 months in or something.
Mhm.
Just under a year, we sat down, okay, how do we turn this into like a formal contract between us? What's
Right.
the plan? What are we doing? Tom Root of Zingerman's fame, who's the CEO of Zingerman's Mail Order, wrote the literal actual book on how to run a makerspace. I'm not kidding. They have it out here. I've read it. I sat through his boot camp. I apparently absorbed every freaking thing, and now it's coming out of me like Charlie Day today in front of God and everybody. So, second year. Let's get rid of this.
Oh.
Year 1, check.
We can do it without making your
And we're a year in to the plan today. It's been a year, give or take. I don't have the exact date. It's been a year, give or take, since we started this.
You don't have to make your hands all.
So this was what we knew was going to happen in the first year anyways, because that was what I was doing and it wasn't far off from the services that I was offering. Second year, maker in residence. Now, we did do maker in residence. We did maker in residence with a young woman named Jaleesa, who was to occupy the jewelry studio. And she did teach a handful of classes,
Oh,
but she did have an accident that made it medically difficult, not impossible, she
Okay.
comes and goes from here and then,
Oh,
but
okay.
medically difficult to be here all the time. But I would say, even though it was never said officially that I was a maker in residence, I was a maker residing at MakerWorks.
so
Check.
by definition of the words.
By definition of the word, we did this. It didn't succeed as we planned, but we did it. We threw it at the wall. It stuck-ish. I mean, it stuck.
Yeah.
So, now let's see, what else was there? Retreats, training events, did we continue those?
Yep.
Check. Yes. I've had 4 retreats in the past year. Let me tell you something what I learned about my retreats. In the past year, my classes have brought in, I don't know if this is 1 year or 2, I think it's just this year. My brain doesn't hold the data information for too long, but I do have the data.
That's why it's written down.
That's why it's written down. I have sold the weekend classes, which I was doing 3 weekends a month and then I was doing 2 weekends a month, have brought in over $40,000 in revenue. That's not profit, don't get excited. That's revenue. That's like how many, that's the money that people are like, take my money.
Mm-hmm.
$40,000 for the year. Now, my retreats, 4. All 4 retreats are technically 3 full work days.
Yes.
The days surrounding them, the Thursday and Monday, we're not working those days.
No.
We're having fun those days. So 3 8-hour work days. 4 3 8-hour work days. Brought in over $80,000 in revenue.
What?
I need to do more retreats.
That's right.
So we did do this. So when you guys see my schedule this year and you look on the schedule and you're like, what the fuck is going on with kids' classes? Well, one, temporarily we're in house and home teaching classes until March because we don't have a home. We're trying to get a home.
Get our own home.
This is where we're trying to get you. So if you're joining us here today, this is a not so shameless plug to fundraise me. My GoFundMe is up that way. If you have other resources that you think might be helpful, we're taking those too. We're getting a handful of those here and there. We don't need money. Money is not real. Like, this is all community grassroots built. Like, this is what I've been doing my whole fucking life. So we're gonna just keep doing it. Also, I'm a cusser, and when I get excited, girl. So social media tutorials. Tutorial Tuesday. We're still here doing it. If you would like to ask questions and stuff, we'll read off of there, but we're also, you can participate in this conversation on Zoom. The link is in Facebook link. Go crawl around to all the profile pages till you find the link.
Amy loves your energy.
Design furniture. Design furniture. Lisa,
Yes.
we designed furniture this year.
Yes, we
You guys
did.
helped us design furniture this year.
We
You
did.
picked out fabrics.
Yes.
We had competitions.
We
the
did.
chair off
The
competitions.
chair off.
Everyone in that class. Do you know what the chair off competition was? First of all, let me blow your fucking minds right now. I decided to have a chair off competition on a whim, like in 30 seconds, and Lisa's like,
I have chairs.
Okay. You know what? This all just so happens to line up. Lisa got rescued some chairs from
The Whitney
the
in
Whitney,
downtown Detroit.
Downtown Detroit.
Look it
Who
up.
apparently is just now hearing about this chair off.
Yes.
These days.
Yeah, we need to talk to them a little bit more.
Yeah, we need to spread out this information. My goal was to take some of my students who had already been working on this, or students who wanted to improve their skills, and put them in a fast-paced production environment that they had to work together in. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna hire these people to do projects, I'm gonna need them to work faster. I didn't realize I was turning out 1.5 projects a month while doing all of this stuff at the same time either, so
Right.
we can relax. It doesn't need to be that fast. But the first part of the first leg of the competition was
Ottoman.
yes, so we split out all 6 people into 2 teams,
Mm-hmm.
and then you did a relay race to reupholster an ottoman, to design, reupholster, finish an ottoman.
Yes.
And it was a race. You guys had to work in 2 teams of 2, so even though you're competing against each other, the whole thing, you worked in 2 teams of 2. This was like a focus group project. Everybody coming in kind of knew, like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. The chairs are still sitting in my storage unit. But we're about to do a scavenger hunt in downtown Ypsilanti where you can find all of the pieces of furniture I completed.
That's so
My brain
fun.
has not stopped working
No.
since someone was like, yeah, you can have a space. And I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta get my shit
Now I gotta do
together.
it.
So, okay, what did I say? That was design
furniture. They,
Check. We designed a
Real
lot
big.
of furniture.
yeah.
I'm gonna make this list and list underneath these things what we
How it
did.
actually happened.
You guys got to see this shit build out in front of your face. Like, I know that I sound crazy right now, but I've been collecting data a long time, and now the data is painting a picture, and I need it to paint a picture, not just for you to show that I add value to this industry, but to the community as well. And I only have this vehicle to teach that to you. I don't have ad money right now. I don't have rent money right now. So if we are going to do this, if we are going to find a cool space to teach these classes, this is the vehicle. This is the fundraiser. This is how we got to do it. If you can't financially participate, I might ask every time you see my fucking blue hair in your feed, you top to bottom, share, like, whatever you got to do to that feed, copy the link, everything. Top to bottom is a term I learned this week from the new generation.
Wait, what does that mean?
Top to bottom is, so on TikTok, on the right-hand panel, there's your profile, there's your like button, there's a share button, and then there's you can save button, or like share to another thing. You engage with every single one of those buttons.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom. You click on my profile, you go look at my face. It's a gift. I went out of my way to make it animated so you could look at it. Go look at it. Maybe I'll start changing it. That's what I used to do in City Council. Change it up all the time. Top to bottom, go look at my profile, make a comment. Go to share it. You don't have to actually share it if you're all comfortable with doing that. Just hit the share button and maybe hit copy link. You can share that in your Facebook, you can share that in your Instagram, you can share that whatever. I don't need your money. I need you to be the vehicle for this opportunity. And I need to show people that, like, I am making a I know I'm making a freaking difference. I've had over 500 people travel from the United States to take classes out of this space. I know I'm making a difference because MakerWorks was 2 months out of closing when I came here and has now been operational for 2 years because we drew attention to the resources in the area. I need your guys' help to do that because I have big ideas. That being said, I can wait. I'm patient. I have a security net. We're working out of house and home. We are in no rush to make any rash decisions that might destroy all the work that we've built up to this point. But what we realized this week is we got options.
Right.
And that's what we're working with. So, design furniture, these 2 things. Furniture DIY kits. This is year 2, by the way. Year 2 into the timeline, year 1 into the action plan. So year 2. Hi, Brad.
Okay.
So furniture DIY kits. Let me explain what that is to you. I designed furniture before I got into, so I did furniture flipping, designing furniture, back to furniture flipping again from my home. Because it's hard to design furniture from your home if you don't have access to the right tools. And I only have an air compressor out of all. Well, now I have more tools. We built them up. But
Right.
I was left with an air compressor and a stapler at the end of the day, so I had to build back up from there. So So the DIY kit is, I've been designing furniture, my kids have ideas for furniture, and I'm like, why don't I design this, print it, CNC, cut it into a flat ship box, ship it out, and my followers can purchase these kits, maybe follow a tutorial or join me in a class, and I walk them through it. They get to pick the fabric, they get to pick the furniture, they get to customize it whatever they want. Not only that, but someone could go and order one of my designs, and then we could just make it for them, custom, whatever, when they're ready to have it. And then the other part to monetize that would be to actually sell the design file itself. That way designers or other upholsterers or boutiques or whatever, they could license the file and they could make it and they could sell it themselves. I have so many ideas in my brain, you guys. I don't have time to just fucking monetize like everything and patent it, and like I don't have a lawyer. Like I don't have, that's not true, I have a lawyer now. I didn't up until a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's new.
That's a new advancement. I'm not even used to saying that out loud yet. But like I don't have the resources to have these big ideas. And that's the most frustrating fucking thing about this, is being as bright as I am and knowing the potential and building it and not being able to take action on it. So that's why I need your guys' help. I don't need your money. I just need you to move it. I just need you to be the vehicle. So whenever you see this blue fucking hair, tag Cobalt, tag Lowe's, tag anything that matches with my blue hair. Share the post. Like, I need a street team of individuals to share this message, and we've already started. I don't have money for ads. I'm relying on you guys. If you're here and you're learning anything about this, all I ask is that you tap on that screen as violently as possible so that you can grow those likes up in my page, and that this will send this out into my feed, not just on TikTok, but on Facebook, Instagram, all of that. I still don't have anyone here on Zoom. Looks ridiculous over here. If you guys want to participate in the conversation and you want to talk about what we're talking about, there's a link in Facebook and Instagram to the Zoom. It's not in the bio page, it's in the latest post that I did, so you gotta go find the post with the link. Join us over Zoom live. We'll answer any questions that you have. So, furniture DIY kits. Did we do them? Kind of. I have 4 furniture designs. They have not been converted into kits. This kit's like a half a check. So, we're...
Year 2.
First, this is year 2 of the timeline. We are in year 1 of the plan. Not even the full year, I don't think. So
this is year 2 of the plan, but
I created this 5-year timeline a year ago.
Right, which was your plan.
Which was my plan.
But the actual timeline
this was
that
my,
we followed
first
is
of
a
all,
year.
the rules to this game, when you're doing this for yourself, is that 5-year plan is pie in the sky. Could never potentially happen dream, okay? Are you tracking? This is my Charlie Day. I'm really going for a look here. Oh, hold on, no, I did prepare for this one. So.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
Here we go. I haven't seen this either, so I'm ready.
You've seen it. You've all seen it.
Oh.
When you saw it for the first time, nobody got it. But I bet you're starting to get it now. So, where are we at? Furniture, DIY kits, half a check, yes. Furniture design files. No. We did develop 2 products. They are in SketchUp, but they haven't been converted into a way that anyone can use it. So maybe a dot, not an actual check.
Okay.
Just a slash. So I made this less than a year ago as a 5-year plan. We are looking at what we said we were going to do in year 2. Remember, we're still operating in year 1, but we're looking at what I said I was going to do the second year. And of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things on this list, we have
4.5.
4.5 and a dot.
And a dot.
4.5 and a dot. This is year 2 of the timeline. So year 1, all checks. Year 1, 100%. What's this percent? This is fun.
4.5 divided by 6. I don't have my calculator. I
Come
don't
on,
waste
guys.
my brain on that.
Come on, guys. I need a
4.5
calculator.
divided by
I need a
6.
human calculator. Hi, Dad. Welcome, welcome. Oh, look, we're getting people on
75%.
Facebook. 75%. Year 2, we made it 75%. So if if you remember correctly, we're not even supposed to be here yet.
So we're already beyond expectation.
We're beyond
Or planned.
expectation. We're planned. We're not supposed to be here yet.
Right,
So
for year
if
3.
you're joining us and you want to help, you can donate to my GoFundMe, which there is a link in my bio. You can join me on Zoom and ask questions because that is going to create relevant connection on the algorithms and it's going to help drive my content. You can tap violently the like button while you're in here. Share this post. Every time you see my blue hair on the internet, top to bottom, profile, comment, share, anything that thing is asking you to do, I would like you to do that, please. I don't need your money, I just need your help. That's all I need. So now we're on year 3. Why are my eyes working so good today?
Because I brought my glasses.
Right.
You know what it says. I was trying to read it and I didn't know what it said.
Year 3, maker in residence. I mean, we're not there yet. We've already accomplished it. So we're gonna make it a check. It's important to know that MakerWorks is also a space where businesses can lease rooms and store their own tools and work out of this space. Technically kind of a maker in residence program, but they actually pay physical money for that. So this is something that happens. I don't have any of my makers in here, but that wasn't part of the plan. This was just to keep continuing the maker in residence program. But we're not into year 3 yet, and this maker in residence program is actually teetering in a balance right now because Jaleesa has been out because of her accident, and I'm on my way out the door to start working on a house and a home until I find a space. So they're going to need more maker in residence before they even get to year 2. That's an important thing. Which that means not only do you just have to support local, and if you are not in Ann Arbor, forget MakerWorks and replace it with whatever makerspace is in your area. But this is a community resource that can only survive on public participation. So if you don't walk through the door, you don't take a class or a tour or anything else, these places disappear. And if these places disappear, businesses like mine cannot thrive. And I owe everything to MakerWorks right now. It went way faster than I thought, but it felt like I was running through mud the entire time, but that wasn't the case. That's what we're looking at here. So maker in residence, retreats, training events. I mean, we haven't even made it that far, but what do we have on the calendar for this year?
Yeah.
We've got 5 tour potential retreats. And what I mean by that is the idea for retreats is shifting a little bit because everyone is always like, oh, I wish you were close to me. And because we thought we were going to have to be mobile, and we still might have to be mobile, we had to figure out how do we make this operation mobile. So instead of, if we're not able to do classes on the weekends, I put a schedule up where you can book me to come out to you for a weekend, and then I bring all my tools and everything out that way. So we do have a tour schedule, and we will go anywhere in the United States. Now, there are some places that are far away that are going to have additional fees because if I have to bring all my tools, I have to rent a truck and do all that. I'm happy to do it. I don't drive well. Lisa's going to have to do all the driving. I'm like a baby in the car. I'll fall asleep and we will wake up where we are and it'll be magic for me, hell for Lisa. So if you guys want us to come to your area and teach you how to do upholstery, furniture restoration, anything like that, if you have a big space that you can rent out and bring me out there are dates for that. So retreats will continue into the future, whether we have a space or not. Social media tutorials. I have a home studio in my garage, and I don't know about you guys, but if you've seen the videos come out of it lately,
It's pretty cool.
very good lighting. I've worked really hard, and I spent $40 on that lighting in the floor to like illuminate my face, and it's going well. And I'm finishing 1.5 projects a month. No rush to get out of my garage. So doing social media tutorials will continue into year 3. I gotta figure out how to shorthand this. SM2.
SM2.
Check.
Excuse me.
Will we be continue to design furniture? Can't stop, won't stop. So check, yes. And then what else we got? Furniture DIY kits. Closer than you think. I don't know if you guys have been seeing these shameless attempts to try and get partners on board, but I'm trying to reel in Shopbot and I'm trying to reel in Carhartt, so you guys ever see that type of content, I need you to tag ShopBot, I need you to tag Carhartt. MakerWorks has a ShopBot. MakerWorks will remain an extension of my business. I will begin teaching tutorials off of the ShopBot if you guys want me to teach tutorials off the ShopBot, but I need resources. I don't have money to buy the bits, I don't have any of that stuff, and I share this tool with a whole community. Washtenaw County is 300,000 people. That's not how many people are in here. We would love that. That would be a wonderful
crazy.
problem. But I do have to share this space, and I can only use that ShopBot for 2 hours at a time. It's very difficult to get a project done in 2 hours on the internet over ShopBot. So I'd like to continue to do that. If you guys see ShopBot stuff, tag me or tag ShopBot in that post. So furniture DIY kits will continue. Will they be available?
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I would check that they'll continue. Will they be
Yes.
available? Like, so when we go to rewrite this, which we're probably not going to get through today,
No.
but when we go to rewrite it, that's what we need to think about. Is this going to be available by this time? Now remember people, we are still operating in year 1, and we have completed 100%. Oh, hold on, we're not done.
Oh, what's
Furniture design files, dot. We're still at a dot with this. So that was one thing on the list. And then the other thing is apprenticeship program. Don't mind if I do.
yes, please.
So this we have done. How do we do that?
Through classes and sponsor a student.
Correct. So in
Because you
this
have
is
to
a
complete
wild
classes
story,
first.
you guys. This is the wildest part of the story. So I was trying to think of how I can start slowly taking on clients before I take on clients, and we were being very careful about how we introduce that, because I didn't want to check my email and see a client email in there because of the trauma that I've dealt with. But also, how do you navigate, again, getting back into having a list of clients? I had no desire to have a wait list. I had no desire to talk to people on the phone during the day and ruin my production schedule. How do I eliminate all of that stuff? And through this program, I didn't know that was going to happen. It definitely was my intent. I wasn't sure. I'm just throwing shit at the wall at this time. Why don't we start a sponsored student program? I had lots of students who were completing projects but couldn't continue to come back because it was too expensive for them to do it. But they wanted to keep going, and their first projects, everyone's first project comes out on a professional level. I'm not lying about that.
No, it's gorgeous stuff.
I don't mind saying 100% of my student projects, at least for maybe not the first 6 months of this, because it was deciding how this class is easiest taught to 10 different people working on 10 different projects in the same space at the same time with little old me and sometimes my right hand man over here. But I just can't believe what we've done. I can't believe that we were able to do that. So
Yeah.
production level, teaching the classes was teaching me how to be faster in production.
Right.
Teaching the classes was teaching me how to be better at my job and more meticulous about my work. All of you guys come in here and are just Kim wouldn't like it if I did that. I cannot think of one time where I'd be nah, you need to do this.
No.
I've never in my life. But your standards
But
are
also,
high.
I do know what your standards are.
Right. Well,
And-
you make more money faster when your work looks professional. But
Right.
what I will say is that you will have customers and clients who will spend money on your work when it's not professional, because there's not a lot of upholsterers out here, and if they can get you practicing and getting good, they got their own personal upholsterer. That's not a bad deal for them. So apprenticeship program was a sponsored student program. What this is after a student has completed a project that they started in my class. Now they don't have to complete it in my class. You can take a virtual class on my class and then get enough information, take that project back home, complete it, hit me up, Kim, I finished it. Can I get some free classes? Sure. I have a list of clients that reach out to me all the time who want cheap upholstery because they either, one, they can't afford it, or they're the kind of person who would never. And that is the expectation that I want to set here, is that when you want lower priced upholstery, you're going to get it from someone who is learning. You're going to use that opportunity to elevate somebody else so that they can get to the point where they can help grow this trade. And that's what we're trying to do here. It's what we've been trying to do here the whole entire time. If you haven't joined on Zoom yet, you haven't, nobody's fucking over there. It's been empty. You can join the Zoom. The link is in the Facebook profile or whatever. You can click on that and join us in Zoom. Ask us questions if you want. I just want to remind you guys where we're at right now. We are operating in year one, looking at our 5-year timeline from what the plan was when I created this timeline a year ago. And we are looking at year 3 and seeing what we've accomplished already into year 3. Everything on this list, this is everything on this list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things on this list. Everything but one thing on year 3 into our 5-year timeline has been completed, except for the furniture design file. We haven't finalized those. It has been touched. We started doing meetings, our team started doing meetings, it quickly fell apart. Very quickly, because the retreat happened, and then everything happened after that, and it was too much work for me to handle all of that at the same time. No more. We're gonna do these meetings regular. If you wanna make money making furniture or making fucking anything, this business model can apply to anything. Please join me when we have these meetings, because this is what we're gonna be going over. So, we're operating in year 1. We got 100% of year 1 done. In year 1, we also got 75% of year 2 done. In year 1, we also got how much? What's the math?
85%.
85% of everything we said we were going to do on year 3. You ready to move to year 4? Remember, we're still operating in year 1. Ooh, we don't want to miss any of this.
Are there comments over there? Last time I looked.
No, it's doing the puzzle thing.
Oh, that thing.
The verification. Okay. Moving on to year 4. Oh, awesome. Remember when I was like doing the brain math? I think that's 3.5 years. Jesus Christ. Year 4. Year 4, Maker in Residence program. I'd like to assume that will continue. We don't know. It's unsure. We're going to give it a check because I have a hard time believing that anything we've started up to this point is going to lose momentum. So, pie in the sky, we're going to give it a check. Maker in Residence. Check. Retreats, training. Yes. And by training, we mean classes, right? Like I teach classes 2 weekends a month. You can come do it for fun, or you can come and do it to learn how to be professional. I'd say it's a 50-50 balance. A lot of people come just because it's an experience that they like. With the chair salon, you're going to be able to walk in and like make your own stuff, or hire someone to make stuff, or take a class, or rent space on the floor to use my tools whenever you feel like it. It's a big deal. That's what we want to do with this space. So if you want to see it happen, which I believe we can, I mean, a guy with like a lot of degrees who went to marketing school told me this is how you do it, and I did it, and now look at what I've done. Social media tutorials, yep. Can't stop, won't stop. Social media toots, check. What else we got? Furniture DIY kits. I mean, we can't. I guess we've started it.
Yep.
It's going to continue. We don't know where it's going to be at, but we're going to give it a check. Furniture design files, we're going to only give it a dot. And apprenticeship program. Apparently, year 4 was going to look a lot like year 3. Maybe we're taking a breather in year 4.
Just letting everything really settle in and
Apprenticeship is still
be
going.
strong.
Check. So what is this math? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 out of 6?
5 out of 6 is. I didn't do that math yet. 5, 6. 78.
Okay.
We're just gonna. I'm ballparking. Don't check my math.
Don't check her math. I cheated my way through math in high school, so don't trust my math. Okay. Are you guys ready for year 5?
No.
I hope you get the chills. I hope you got the fucking chills. Because we are operating in year 1. We're gonna have to add up all this math. How much of our 5-year plan did we get done? Don't do it yet. How much of our 5-year plan did we get done in the first year? Also, I could be wrong with the date. It could be a little over a year, could be a little under. I looked at it briefly this morning. We'll get the facts up later. I've been known to like just get very excited about numbers.
This is the spirit and not the
Right.
hard facts.
These are the facts. We have
Yes.
done this. Okay.
The number facts, maybe.
Right. Okay, where's year 5? Oh no.
There you go.
Okay. Number 1 on the list for year 5 is to build a community fab shop. Now, this, so this, when we originally were thinking this, was that we will create a program inside MakerWorks that would graduate to professional training programs that could house businesses in a sustainable way so that businesses like mine could start off with an infrastructure in place and grow from there in 2 years. So that was the plan, is to have a facility, a large facility full of designers and makers who could start a business on the ground floor of something that already existed, already paid the rent, already had insurance, maybe it had legal advice and all of that stuff in place for them, but they could just exist here in this space and grow. Now, how do they get their clients? Are they connected to anyone? The design industry? No. They're going to need that connection. And my idea was to take my connections from the design industry, plug them into this community fab shop. My experience with the design industry is that they want to pay as little money as possible to be able to get their stuff done. But when we are taking on that work, we are not charging enough money. We're getting all the jobs, but we're not charging enough money, and we are losing our investment and our profits by paying to do this work. There is a transitional phase, though, that I've learned in learning how to do upholstery. When I first started, I was doing it for fun. I was pulling it out of the trash. Me and my 3-year-old were redoing it in the backyard. It wasn't serious, it was for me. And then people would see it if I was working on it and ask if I could make them something, ask if they could pay me, pass me around to their friends, tell their designers. One-stop shop for wood, metal, and upholstery services. Problem is we got chewed up by the industry and spit right the fact back out, because while we were cool and we were one-stop shop and we never one bad review in the whole thing. Even though we had to return a lot of work in the end, we didn't fail. We couldn't thrive. We put everything we had into this idea, hoping that the resources coming in were going to help us thrive, and they didn't. It fell short because we didn't know. We didn't charge enough. We didn't have the infrastructure in place. We didn't know what to do. We didn't have mentors. No one told us to make a fucking list. We did make lists. I'm going to show you those lists. I've recorded everything. And every single step of the way I've recorded it. Some of you have been here for a lot of it. Not everybody has. But we're going to get through the rest of it. So our 5-year plan of this 4-year plan was to move this idea into a community fab shop where we could benefit more businesses. Now, my plan with MakerWorks didn't hash out the way that we had planned because there's not a lot of resources. There's not a lot of money. You can't pay living wages with no money. When you have a skeleton crew operating a shop that is being completely underutilized, you don't have resources for these big ideas, even though the demand is there. The demand is there for the resources. I've been training people Lynn Sellers signed a 5-year lease this week in Albion, Michigan. She's the only upholsterer in Albion, Michigan. She gets the government jobs, she gets the residential jobs, the designer jobs, commercial jobs. Lynn Sellers has more jobs than she knows what to do with. Now, Lynn Sellers is doing great, and she's also teaching classes, and she's trying to build her stuff up. But if Lynn Sellers' wait list gets too long and one thing goes wrong on one end, the whole row of dominoes falls apart. Lynn Sellers needs help to stay open. Lynn Sellers needs you to learn how to do upholstery so you can come work for a living wage out of her shop, because there is a high demand for these services. I plan to get right back to where I started in 5 years. But I don't think it's going to take that long because we've already come this far. So, Community Fab Shop for this moment has split and evolved into the chair salon. First it was, how do you close a business and still do this again? Well, your only option is to go mobile. Okay? Backyard, YouTube, whatever I gotta do. How do you take it from there further? Because if you can't find a space to teach a class, that's it. You're just doing TikTok and you're relying on the internet to think you're cool. I am cool, but I need more than the internet. You need money to be that kind of cool on the internet, and I'm not that cool. So without the drive and engagement, like, I don't have that either. So we downsized our idea to a space that costs less than what I'm currently paying now for my storage unit, the services that I provide for MakerWorks, ads, materials, all of that stuff that like I have to put in. The overhead for a shop now makes sense. And I didn't do this intentionally. When I moved into this storage unit, it was $400 a month. And so it was $400 a month, and then they raised the rent. And so we paid $200 more a month, and then they were gonna raise the rent again. So we looked at our options, and we had 2 small storage units at this time, but they had 1 big storage unit for less money, and we're like,
Well, let's take that.
they're just gonna let us do that? They're just gonna let us swap out our more expensive? They do let you do that. And so what ended up happening is we ended up with 3 of the largest storage units right next to each other with the walls removed. Do you know how much trash you can fit in a storage unit that big? So much trash. You know all that fucking furniture I've been finishing this year? That's trash. So that's like, I created value out of that stuff. Well, I haven't sold a lot of that yet, but you'll get an opportunity to buy it soon, because I'm going to hide these pieces all over downtown Ypsilanti so people can find them, because I'm a marketing genius, and that's what we're going to do with these hours. So, Community Fab Shop devolves, I don't think so,
No, it just,
into Chair Salon.
it divides, conquers.
What is a chair salon? Take 2 seconds.
Tell me,
Just
what is a chair salon?
nobody say anything out loud. Sit with that concept for 2 seconds. If I remember correctly, Lisa, this was your idea. Do you remember?
Yes.
Chair salon was Lisa's idea. And as soon as she said it, I could not fucking get it out of my mind. And all I could see was like barbershop chairs with lazy Susans, with chairs, with cool fucking chicks lining a wall. Everyone can see in the window what you're doing outside. Fabric lining both walls. Bricks were a part of it too, by the way. Like this vision that when you said it, it flashed in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna roll with that one. Like, that's good content right there. So that's what we're doing. Well, what is a chair salon? Well, in this instance, a chair salon is kind of what it says. You can go and have your chair made pretty, just like you would have your hair made pretty.
Yeah.
The concept behind the chair salon, though, is closer to my vision when we first started this, tried to pivot to Loco after we closed Clark's, which is kind of like a tattoo shop, but for furniture, where you can bring in your project, you can pick an artist. Some of these artists have more traditional tastes. Some of these artists, not so much. You can come in and find someone who meets your style and who is into the same things that you are into and have them work on your project. If the project is small enough, you can sit there and watch it be done. You can ask questions about it. You can pick out the fabrics. You can pick out the foams. You can pick out accessories, nail heads. All that stuff is going to be there. You'll be able to touch everything with your hands, put it all together, and tell us how you want it to be done. Or you can come and do it yourself. Yay! You could do it in class. I'm still going to be doing my regular classes on the weekends, my Bring Your Own Project classes. So you can do your project in class, or they will be walk-in times where you can just walk in, rent some space, and work on your project there. All the tools are there for you. That's like, I'm trying to capture all of these markets of all of these people who have ever said anything to me about this whole process.
It's like meeting all the needs all in one.
Not only that, it's cyclical.
Yeah.
It feeds itself.
Right.
So this chair salon, I'm going to get these brilliant artists who are so brand new, into their second year. They have no shit about this industry yet.
No.
I am suckering them all into this space so that they can work for me. And what's going to happen is they're going to realize how much money they can make doing this. Now they're paying me however much to like occupy this space, either monthly or weekly or daily or whatever. And they start selling projects that they're able to finish, and they're going to realize, oh shit, I could do this out of my garage. It's designed to work like that. Because I have 20 new students coming in every weekend from all over the United States.
Right.
And you don't have to be just a regular person who's interested in an experience. You don't have to be someone who wants to be a professional. You can be a professional who wants to learn how to teach classes like this so you can grow your workforce.
Great idea.
Lisa started teaching my classes like first year in, she was teaching my classes. When I do weekend retreats, I will have a free spot for students to volunteer to come help me, students who have never touched a sewing machine before, assist me through the retreat, and over the end of the retreat, they're teaching people how to tie springs. I can teach 20 people on 10 unique projects in 18 hours on average how to produce a project to a professional level. I know this because I've been collecting the data. So, Community Fab Shop downgraded to Chair Salon. Will Community Fab Shop be back in the timeline?
Yeah.
I think so. That's what we want to see. Has Chair Salon happened yet? We're going to give it a
We're
dot
working on it.
because we have interest and we're raising money. And last I looked, we were only $3,000 in, so I don't know where that is. But if you would like to benefit this cause in any way, I have 41,000 followers here on TikTok. I got 3,000 followers over on Instagram. Or no, I'm sorry, I have almost 8,000 followers on Instagram, 3,000 followers on Facebook. If every fucking one of you gave me $1, Jesus Christ, we would have the keys in our hand right now. But we can't do this without the money. And we have until March, the end of March. The weekend retreat is still slotted to be here at MakerWorks. So we'll still be here. We're good until after the weekend retreat. I don't have any classes scheduled after the weekend retreat because I don't have a place to teach them. So the other class opportunities you can get after March that will help with this goal are for you to sign up for those traveling weekend retreats, for you to bring me to you. And all you need to do is find a space big enough to host me, 10 of your friends, who can all bring a friend free. That's 20 friends. And I don't know if you've been in a room with more than fucking 10 of us. It is a lot of fun. So, if you would like to bring me to you to either learn how to do upholstery, have a party with your friends, or learn how to teach these classes yourself, I have tour dates up on my schedule. It is $700 a person to do it, up to 10 people, and 10 people can bring a friend to help with their project. You bring your own project, I'm going to bring the materials, I'm going to bring all the tools, I'm going to travel to you, and we're going to have a fun weekend. 8 hours Friday, 8 hours Saturday, 8 hours Sunday, fun day. Maybe you'll complete your project, maybe you won't. We find there's a good mixture of fun and learning, and so not everybody finishes their project. Everyone learns at their own pace, but there are resources in place for you to pick back up on it after class. We have the free group, the Local Upholstery Club, that you can join. You can post pictures or video of your project, ask questions, tag me, tag Lisa, tag anyone you recognize in there if you need answers. I'm not the only pro in there. There are pros in there who have been doing this for decades, who have been the most supportive people in this industry that I could ever be thankful for. So if you guys want to learn about upholstery for free, just join the group. Watch me on TikTok and YouTube. That is equally as beneficial, equally as valuable to me as cash. Because when you guys are participating and engaging in this content, you're sending your vehicle for my message out there. Your vehicle for the community fab shop, which we've already done. And I gotta tell you guys, I don't want to be mean, but you're really slacking on sharing my stuff. The engagement that's here is like me to you, me to you, me to you, me to you. I gotta tell you, there are people out there who see my fucking blue hair on the internet and they're like, "Gah!" So like, if I didn't have to like push myself as hard, if you guys could push it, what happens when you guys share that is that it's finding people who will just like you to share my content with. Finding people who have similar interests to you to share my content with. And all you have to do is share or tap the like button. I see some hearts coming up here. When you tap that like button as violently as possible, you're gonna get a little meter up in the upper left-hand corner, a little pink meter, heart. It's gonna race its way to the bottom. When it's done, throws you a party. I don't know what that does to the algorithm, but I like to see it because it makes my hair pop up in the corner of the screen. So we're in year 5. I'm getting really good at going live on the internet. So, as a reminder, we are currently, of this 5-year plan I wrote a year ago, still operating in year 1. In year 1, we completed 100% of the list of year 1, 75% of the list of year 2, 85% of the list of year 3, 78% of the list of year 4, and we're already checking what we've accomplished in that list in year 5. Why do people call these 5-year plans?
Because not everybody is a freight train.
That's true. I had to burst through a lot of fucking walls and force my foot in a lot of doors to get to this point right here. And I didn't think I would make it. You guys did. You guys have been pretty cool about it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, retreats, training events. Will we be doing those in year 5?
Yeah.
I can't see any reason why we would stop, especially if we don't get a chair salon. This is the only way we can teach is through retreats. So check. We've got Star to move it to next time. Dot is getting started. Check is done. Operating in year 1, looking at year 5, what our plan was to get there. Social media toots.
Excuse me.
Can I add too that I was asked to pare down my list to be more realistic about what we could accomplish in 5 years? I just want to add that. Furniture DIY kits. See, now we're starting to fall apart here.
Yeah, this is our thing. This is our...
If I fall apart, I mean we are still operating in year 1 on a 5-year timeline.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of when we make our next list, we're gonna get rid of the years. When I was doing furniture from home, I was just dropping piece after piece, and if I could complete a piece a week, I could make thousands of dollars a week out of my garage. My brain was already, we need a brick and mortar, we need a brick and mortar. I've been doing it so fucking year. My husband's like, if I quit my job, I can help you pull staples. And I said, please don't quit your fab job. I sell furniture on Facebook. And at this time, no one was selling furniture there was no marketplace.
Right.
There was no store for that. There were only groups. And in the group, if you posted something and someone said interested, there was no price negotiation. That person was the only person allowed to get the piece. If you were deterred away from those rules, you were kicked out of the group, and you had a really hard time selling stuff on Facebook.
Okay.
So that was like how that started. So we made a list. I'm like, please don't quit your fucking job. Like, it's the only security we have. Please don't quit your job. He was like, I'm working on this $2 million Ford Field job off the same tools I have in my garage. And this motherfucker is getting all my money. He was making $16 an hour at the time. And he is a master fabricator, but he was still new.
Right.
He wasn't that whatever new, but he was pissed. He was pissed that he was like, I have all the tools to do this. It's me and one other guy. Why can't I do this myself? And so he made a list. This is everything I need to be able to quit my job. If I can do this and get a job on the table, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to quit. Yikes. So we were like, okay, but you have to accomplish this in 3 months. Like, if you don't do it in 3 months, you can go back. And he talked to his boss and was just like, this is what I want to do. if it doesn't work out, can I come back? And his boss is like, yeah, you can come back. He did go back, but not for 6 years.
Right.
He made that shit work for 6 years.
Right.
And we felt like failures.
You weren't.
We fucking sold furniture on Facebook. Like, what? That's not unique to me. Lisa does that out of her house. Lisa met me and I physically rubbed off on her. And she literally makes furniture for a living. Lisa, how long have you been into making furniture?
I just crossed over 2 years.
Lisa, how long have you known me?
I just crossed over 2 years.
So no prior appreciation or
No.
like
I think the
urge to do
only
it?
I think the only skill that I brought to the table was sewing, which is stuff I did on my own
Yeah.
through my whole life.
So it's for fun,
For fun.
for yourself.
For my own home.
So where did that tip? Where were you like,
I
oh, I could do this?
had 2 chairs that I loved the design of the chair. The fabric was disgusting and I hated it. And I think I said upholstery out loud in front of my phone. And then Kim popped up on the internet. It's a miracle or a plan.
Remember when I told you guys I've been doing marketing for 20 years before I did
She
furniture?
searched me out and found
I
me.
didn't have to search you out.
You didn't.
I marked the parameters on the little forum on
Yeah.
Facebook and I gave them $25. And they were like, this one,
Yeah.
that one, this one,
Yeah.
that one.
I was like, I could do that.
And
I
you
also
did.
I also have that gene. What is it? Oh, how
I
hard could it be?
How hard could it be?
I could do that.
I gotta say, so this is the community that we built here for upholstery.
Mhm.
It's not just my community either. There are so many upholstery communities on the internet now that weren't there when I first started.
Right.
That are so like helpful. Kim's Upholstery, she's been doing this
She's amazing.
so much longer than I have. She's
Mhm.
incredible. There's so many people out here. Learn from.
Anybody.
If you want to do this, I suggest is that you do nothing but this for the next whatever. Definitely.
How long it takes.
Every single day, a little bit of this. It doesn't have to be 8 hours a day. You do not have to kill your effing self, but you got to touch it a little bit every single day.
Yeah.
And then eventually, and what I always tell people, the first thing I tell them when they come to the classroom, the first thing you gotta do is take pictures and take video. Not just for the before and after, mostly because you're deconstructing it and reconstructing it. And I might not know what was there and what was gone before you did it, but also for the progress. Because some of you are going to move past that first project. And you're gonna wanna look back at that first project. And when I compare my first project to your guys' first project, people were paying me money for that. Like, what an incredible opportunity I was given to be paid while I was training myself off the internet to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I returned to the internet to show you guys how to do it because I really want to open up a chair salon. And I do have enough students to fill this chair salon. And I did start taking on clients again in March. And I have completed 1.5 projects a month on my own, working on them for 4 hours a week. So I think that we can handle
Yes,
this.
that is a
Add
thing where
retail
you.
to it.
Yeah.
Add fabric store to this equation. There is not a fabric store within an hour of here.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you that the one fabric store that is within an hour here is the most magical fabric store you'll ever go to.
It sparkles and it's beautiful.
Discount Fabric Outlet.
Yep. Best in town.
Discontinued designer fabrics for $10 a yard. Now, when I first started going there, the fabric was only $3 a yard. So I was lucky. I had
Everything's more expensive
250
these
rolls
days.
of this fabric in my shop when we had them.
Oh.
And when we had to get rid of the shop, I had to sell everything, and we sold it for $10 a roll. All my friends came in and picked our bones and took everything they wanted. It was the hardest moment of my life. But I've built that collection back up again. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
The chair salon will not just have affordable fabrics, but we're also going to have designer fabrics. And you can get foam, batting, decorative nail heads, legs, drawers, poles, anything you need to put a cool piece of furniture together. Decals, what else? wallpaper, pillows. I'm not kidding you. All of this stuff is like going to be in there. This is a no-brainer. This is like easy stuff. So again, if you're just joining us on the internet, my name is Kim. I'm with Loco. I teach upholstery and furniture restoration. I'm trying to get into a dedicated space. We are here fundraising today. I'm gonna get to the point here in a minute, but what I've been showing you this whole time is that a year ago, little give or take, I don't know if it is less or more, I can't remember the actual date, I worked with Tom Root to mentor me on how to grow Loco, begrudgingly because I had my own ideas. But he did get through, he got through. He made me create a 5-year timeline of where I saw Loco going. And so I did create that timeline. And today we've been going through this timeline, and if you've missed it up to this point, I'm going to put this live replay over on YouTube. You can watch it later. I'm gonna try and post it, like this will be posted from here on Facebook. You'll be able to see it from Facebook. So you'll be able to catch up later. Maybe you'll get inspired. At the end of the day, what I'm going to ask for you is for you to make a list of all of the things that you accomplished this past year. And then next time we come back to this idea is we're going to write it down in a plan. I don't like calling it a 5-year plan because we're still in year 1. This is what we've accomplished in the first 4 years. 100% of the first year, 75% of the second year, 85% of the third year, 78% of the fourth year. We're moving into the 5th year. We've got 1, 2 of 3
Yeah,
or
about
of 4
40.
things done. The last thing is furniture design files. And we haven't done that.
So 2 of 6,
So what's that?
33%.
So year 5, in the first operational year, we've only completed 35% of your
33.
33?
Yeah.
So how do you figure out all these percents?
I need a calculator.
Here's a calculator. So what I want to figure out now, I did not do this math until just this very day right here in front of you guys. Because all I saw was the freaking timeline. And I was like, am I reading this right? And then I didn't sleep. So I'm not sleeping. I do see that we are at 4.2 thousand likes, and I think that that's really cute, you guys, but I've seen that over 100,000 before. So if you're here and you're excited about what we're doing, all I ask is that you tap that screen as violently as possible. If you want to get on board with screen tapping with me, I won't order those screen tapping things. I'll send you one. You just let me know. You send me a message, I will buy you one of those things. You join me every live, and you just connect it to your thing, and you just keep it tapping. So we are in year 1 of our 5-year plan of 1 of 5. How much percent have we made it through all 5 years?
74%.
74% of my 5-year plan, and I've made $0. I've only made just enough money to keep doing this. I don't have car insurance. I don't have dental insurance. I don't have health insurance. Those are all of the things that I had to, I don't want to say I couldn't pay them. I don't want to say I gave them up, but I couldn't pay them. And instead of working a $15 an hour job to try and catch up from a mountain of debt, which I would never catch up, I applied. I want you to do this percentage. So just Loco time, because I had several full-time jobs when I did this. I'm trying to inspire you guys because this is not actually fucking hard. It's hard. It's physically hard, like laboriously hard, and you're gonna run into a lot of obstacles. But I will tell you, if you make the fucking list and you follow the recipe to whatever it is you want, I don't care what, join this because you want to learn to crochet or whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is an applicable business model. This isn't a business model. This is an applicable strategical plan for growing your ideas.
Yeah.
Not even a business, your ideas.
Yeah.
Some people find it just really difficult to get themselves off their fucking couch and do anything because the world sucks. But it doesn't suck.
Nope.
It doesn't suck. A lot of shitty things are happening out there, but it's like we are the people who make up all of the stuff on this planet. We are the ones responsible for the harmony and all the capitalism. We participate in all of it. We're the ones responsible for it. So if I can do this, getting paid $0 and working several full-time jobs, to come out of it on this side of it and be like, that wasn't as fucking hard as I thought it was gonna be. I did it. You guys can do this too. So if you believe in me and you want to see the chair salon, I'm either going to need you to tap that fucking screen, top to bottom, share all of this stuff, or give me your money on GoFundMe, because I need money to do this. I don't have an infrastructure. But what I am going to do, we have 80 some days, maybe 82, 81, I can't remember, I have to go back and check, before we don't have a space to teach classes. What I'm going to do in that time is get all my ducks in a row. We're going to go to the DDA, if we're going to get this downtown space, and we're going to ask them what resources they have. We're going to talk to an attorney about all of the things you have to have in place when you go to start a business for the first time, to start taking money for client projects. I don't know what the rules and regulations are here in Ypsilanti or Ann Arbor, so I have to find that out. I don't even know. I ran a business for 6 years. I don't know where to find all this information. I did not have the infrastructure. I didn't have a business plan. I would ask someone for a few bucks to help me out with the first month's rent, because I knew if I could get my fucking foot in the door that I could do this. And that's been where my head has been the entire time. But I've been so lost in the process that I didn't see the progress. And so that's why we're outlining it today. So if you're here and you're learning anything, you're excited about anything we're doing, I just need you to tap the screen as much as possible so that you can like this. If you're just catching this right now, I want you to take this information when I post it to YouTube later. Depending on where my energy is at, I might be there for the premiere of it, so I'll be in the comments while you watch it live. If no one shows up after a certain amount of time, though, I can't. I don't have time. I don't have time to hang out, but I will hang out if you're there. So, operating in year one, we have completed 74% of my 5-year plan, but we didn't get the community fab shop, which has actually been devolved down to chair salon. But we're this close. And we have 80 days to do it.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily need to only have money to do that. So after we put out the GoFundMe, a lot of resources came to me. We have people saying, move here, I will give you this space. Or other people who have rentable spaces. So the two most viable options are the downtown Ypsilanti space, which I love because it looks, you don't even have to say the words chair salon.
No, it does.
It translates.
Yes.
It's the most perfect thing. It's exactly what I saw. And it's laid out perfect. It's turnkey for the most part. I don't have to do anything. We can start right away. The other space, also turnkey, is 3,600 square. Oh no, it's 4,000 some square feet. Mostly big open warehouse space, and it is literally right behind MakerWorks.
And it's cool.
And it's very fucking cool, and way more space for retail, but it's $4,500 a month. And the downtown space is only $2,000 a month. That's my budget. I can't go higher than that unless we had some kind of resource or some kind of network that was able to help us with that bigger space.
Yeah.
Now also, there's the third option of moving to a mystery city
A mystery.
and starting here.
Yeah.
Are we ready for this? I don't know. You guys, I've been here for fucking 2 weeks,
Right?
thinking planning this for 3 years, thinking it's gonna happen, getting kind of in a pinch of trying to figure out in 3 months, what am I gonna do because I need something to do in 3 months, to this now being a viable possibility, if not here, somewhere else, to this or this. If you could snap your fingers and say, I want that, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah. This is where you would go?
Yes.
Do you know what I would do?
What? This?
Both. Because the chair salon is visible. You can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
And it's it's like a little
It's a
marketing
taste.
blip. Like it's marketing. It's the foot traffic to the concept, to the
big.
we could have more of these if we had more people who knew how to do this.
Yeah.
Or I would like to get metal fabrication at a price like this. I would like to get wood fabrication at a price like this. I want to work with a designer who doesn't have a degree, but is like the most incredible
capable,
designer
yeah.
that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of the concept star? You're gonna hear me going around saying, I'm a star. I'm not full of myself. I am full of myself, but that's not what I mean when I say it. When you dye your hair like this, you're unstoppable. I'm sorry. Even like on my worst days, I could go out with hair like this and people would be like, oh my God, your hair. So my confidence is probably way like over where it should be. What was I saying before I said that? Star. So
I remember.
star means so when I do that, so my brain pauses like that and then I'll forget, or sometimes I'll forget words as they come out of my mouth. You'll learn that about me. When I do that, I'll always say, what was I talking about? And if everyone's like, I don't know, I'm like, son of a bitch. No
Well,
one was listening.
we'll circle
Or
back.
I was like way up here in the clouds and everybody's like, what is this fucking chick talking about? That's usually the case probably. So
Star.
So my goal, star. See, ADHD. Star is skilled through alternative routes. So what that means is like, there's no trade programs for upholstery anymore. There are some like professional certification programs out there. There are some people trying to start federally funded apprenticeship programs. This guy right here is looking to do that in 2025. But there's no official certification. You can do this without a bachelor's
certificate
degree,
or
without a
whatever.
certificate, without any licensing. Like, I don't know what it is in your state. I have not done the research, so I don't know if you could do
Research
it.
in your own state.
I was able to do it first out of my home when we talked to the city because my husband quit his job. He quit his job, and then that day we're like, let's go to the city and ask what we need to do. We did not do that first. We did that after. And the city, we told them what we were doing, and what was her name? Linda was like, oh, you can't do that out of your house. That's illegal. You can't do that out of your house. I'm like, she was, whatever you do, don't quit your job. And me and Krasny look at each other.
We're like, no,
what the
didn't.
fuck just happened? And so she took us actually, and she was trying to develop the downtown area to like all of the spaces in town to like see what could be like viable or whatever. And she was just like, we're gonna make you guys a case study in the city. Like, we're gonna give you as many resources as we can. We get money out of the deal, but like it's a small town.
Right.
The people that worked in the city were able to physically put us in a car and drive us like to around these places. So that was like really useful. So you don't have to be certified to do any of this. You can do this without. And I found that you can actually get paid to do this the entire time. And so what I aim to do is pivot my content for 2025 to showing you how I am moving back from my garage into a brick and mortar again, however long it takes. It could be by the end of March before the thing. It could be the end of this fundraiser. It could be a year from now. I don't care. This is exciting. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be 5 years from now
No.
because we've already done this. So, what time is it? Jesus.
It is
I have been talking this whole time.
12:44. Do you
When
need
I
a
tell
drink?
you, maybe. When I tell you guys I've been exercising some demons these past couple weeks because every human experience that I've had up to here, and maybe it's projection, has felt like I didn't belong in this space of business jargon, organization, processes. Like, no, just do my idea right now. I just want to do my idea. Let me do my idea. Like, and I'm oppositional defiance disorder, I think. And so I am headstrong about doing my idea, but now that I see, like, when it's just me, and it's not just me, I had MakerWorks here to support me. We built a street team of people who was pushing this stuff. By the way, guys, pick up the pace. I'm sharing the stuff. I need you to be sharing every time you see me. Share the stuff. But, like, that's why we were able to expedite it. That and ChatGPT. We'll go into that later. You guys don't. I can't get into that. today.
That's
We
too
don't
much
have-
for one day.
We don't have the time. But we will get into that. ChatGPT made this possible to expedite this. So what I would like you to do while we are here and getting inspired, there's still 5 of us left on the live here and 1 of us left on the live on Facebook, is I want you to make a list of all the things that you accomplished in the past year, like 2024. That whole year, not of the things you plan to accomplish or whatever, just like literally list the things. Like, I worked this job, I took care of my kids, I did this, 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 and I would like you to see your capacity for doing things. Because I did this while I did full-time marketing consulting for AskKevin.com, MakerWorks, Schedule Stitch. Who else? There's one more in there. My brain is not great. 4 clients, while teaching classes, while doing retreats, while managing the infrastructure of me taking on clients again and my students taking on clients and building out. It wasn't even part of the 5-year plan. This is a bonus. I'm going to add an extra point.
Oh,
So one of the things that we did do in this year also was we developed a program or a project management system.
Oh, yeah.
And that wasn't even part of the plan, but I needed it to start taking on clients again because I did not want to get buried in client work. And one of the ways that I was able to avoid doing that was that I decided to take on 1 client at a time so that I could finish a project, get the deposit, get the payment, bring on the next one so that I didn't have stuff piling up. Now, I have made some exceptions for some winter projects because they're for boats and stuff, like it's extended out. So I did make an exception, which is those foam seats we're taking our time on. That's why we're taking our time on those. Because
Gotcha.
I've never done a foam seat before. I've done all of the steps, but not to a foam chair. We're taking our time to preserve the chair. So so I have a lot. I've learned a lot. And I want to share it with you guys as I do it because I don't think that this needs to just happen in one spot at one time. I think that we can get this happening in multiple places at a time.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like one individual starting out of your garage. Lynn Sellers owns Up and Up Upholstery. And 2 years ago, Lynn was not pregnant and working on her first project with me, got pregnant, grew a baby, strapped the baby to her chest and came back to class and kept working until she got her own space. She's 1 year into her own space and she signed a 5-year lease today. Lynn Sellers is not the only upholsterer that started their own business with me.
Nope.
Lynn Sellers is not even one of 12 upholsterers that started their own business with me. So
It can happen.
it can happen, and it's fairly good money. You make okay money just
Yeah.
doing it out of your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do as much or as little as you want.
Right.
I was doing dining room seats, $125 a pop. You specialize in dining room seats, you just do those for the winter time before the holiday season. That's a good chunk of money. That's a little bit of money. That's a little bit of growth. And there is not enough skilled tradespeople in this industry to take on the demand of what's there. And guess what's coming up the path for LoCo in 2025? Reusing as much as possible.
Oh, all
Do you
right.
know why? Because it reduced the cost. When I was doing Clark's Fabric, it reduced the cost and it reduced the waste. Cost is important, not as much as the waste.
Yeah.
But it reduces cost and it reduces waste. And when we were doing Clark's Fabrication, we didn't reuse anything. We were like, nope, we're only replacing materials. We can't warranty it if we don't replace the materials.
Mhm.
But there are transitional levels of upholstery that you can do. Some people will bring their projects to class and they reuse the foam because they can't afford to buy the foam or the foam is in pretty good shape.
Right.
And if the foam is in some pretty good shape, you should use it. That was not the mindset that I had. So when people say you're doing this upholstery and you're saving upholstery from the landfill, you're throwing 90% of it away and you're keeping the biodegradable part made of wood. It's not true. It's just not true. And if you want to make it true, you have to take the steps to do that. And so in working with House into Home, I learned a lot. House into Home is a nonprofit organization that offers all of the things that you need to make a house a home to families in need. They're getting into new homes from previously being homeless. They don't have furniture, they don't have pillows, they don't have dishes. Like House in the Home provides all of this, but they're limited to what they can take for furniture because it has to be in pristine condition. Because you're not going to give someone your crusty old couch
Right.
just because they're homeless. They want these people to feel like human beings with beautiful things.
Yeah, that they have a nice home to come home to and
That's right.
not a smelly couch.
But they're limited to what they can take.
Right.
So this past year, not on the list,
Oh, yeah.
I got a grant to start teaching these classes at House into Home on Wednesdays. I got paid to teach the class. I got paid roughly $100 an hour to teach this class, up to 20 people at a time. So $100 an hour doesn't mean a lot when you've got like 20 to 25 people in the classroom. But like that was something that we were able to do. I know we've turned out more than 30 pieces of furniture in those 3 months, probably more than that. We should have been counting, but everything was going very quickly.
Yeah.
Not only did we learn how to reuse and recycle and patch up foam and everything else to like make new things out of what we had,
was available.
because they are a nonprofit organization. They can't afford to cover the cost of these materials. So not only did we learn how to reuse, but we learned how to make production faster. Also, we chit chat and gossip and laugh and like
Have a good time.
we're getting so much work done, and we're just there. There's a reason why people keep coming back to these classes. It has nothing to do with becoming a professional upholsterer.
No.
It has everything to do with the community. So the Cheer Salon, when we talk about all the different forms of revenue that come in through there, the retail, the classes, the leasable space, the client work, the designs that we sell ourselves, all of that stuff, like, is in addition to like everything else coming down the line. Every time one person comes and takes a class in my shop, 50% of the time they take 6 classes or more.
Yeah.
So for every one person, so I have 500 people come into my shop to take classes over the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
250 of them took 6 classes or more. That's crazy. And I don't know what percentage of them ended up becoming or aiming for professional.
Right.
I would have to data mine. I'd have to go ask every single person. I will.
That's a lot.
I'm going to. I'm going to make someone do that for me. But so that's where we're at, you guys. My 5-year plan, I don't know what it is anymore because we did it all already. I don't want to call it a 5-year plan anymore because I found it fairly easy to cram 5 years plus everything else I did into this first year. But I need you guys to make this look valuable to people with deeper pockets than me. Because I don't have them. But I know how to make money, I know how to make revenue, I know how to teach people, and I know how to change the manufacturing industry. I wrote it all down and I'd love to share it with you. But first I gotta learn how to run a business. So that's what we're doing for the next 3 months. Hopefully we'll get some people on board. I've had attorneys reach out, I've had friends reach out, we've had realtors reach out. A lot of people see the value in what we're doing here. So if you want to follow the journey, keep following along. I turn this on now. I don't think I can turn it back off unless I hit another one.
Yeah, right.
So thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. I didn't see anything come through, but thank you guys for all the likes. We did get over 5,000 likes. We only have a few people here. This recording is going to go onto YouTube as the live replay, uncut. I don't have time to edit this stuff out. So if you want to catch up on this, I hope you will. This was intentionally filmed to show people who I think might be interested in this. So wish us luck. We'll see you later.
Bye.